Hi. That sounds so fucking annoying. Hello. 학생 makeup. Student makeup. Ironically, Korean students aren't allowed to wear makeup. And if they do, it's usually like super undetectable, natural. So this isn't necessarily for if you're just a student. The concept behind it is mostly just like quick, easy, but cute makeup. I tried to make it so I fit everything in a pouch here. Now, if I wasn't explaining this to an audience of people on the internet, then I would finish this in like 10 minutes. There's two ways you can go about base. It depends on who you are, but the feeling of just having makeup, especially heavy foundation on your face, kind of like grosses me out, especially if you're wearing it all day, every single day. So you can either go for a skincare cushion that has ingredients that are good for your skin, not necessarily good for your skin, but aren't bad for your skin. Of course, the Troy Outer K one, the A+ and the H+, skincare cushions, or the NAKEUP face one. This one, all the ingredients are EWG. You don't have to worry about this like clogging your pores, breaking you out. But with this, because of the fact that it's EWG, it doesn't have those ingredients that help make it last longer. So for daily wear, it's okay. And also if you have like more dry skin, if you have oily skin, it's probably not gonna last as long on you. The other route is you can use a really full coverage base that's super thin and light. That way you can also avoid having to use concealers and extra things. It's all kind of just in one step. And so that's why I'm gonna use the new Kill Cover Conceal Cushion. This is a renewal of their older one. It's so full coverage and yet feels like nothing on the skin. I dip in, that's already too much. I even it out on the puff here. Here, I jiko it. In the main spots. Keep in mind, I still haven't dipped back in. Alright, there's my base pretty much finished. I didn't even need to use concealer or anything, but if you have dark circles, any things you need to cover, I recommend a concealer stick because it's harder, so it lasts a little bit longer on the skin. Now, normally I would powder at this stage, but what I'm gonna actually do is kind of use this base as a primer for my eyeshadow, my blush, and things like that. So I'm actually gonna powder at the last step. Another recommendation I have is actually to use the night before. Apply a brow tattoo. These tattoo pens. My favorite one is the NAKEUP face one because the tip is really sharp. The other one I like is the CLIO one. It looks pretty much the same, but there's this mascara at the end that I don't really use. I don't really like it. Doing your brows like prior saves a lot of time because my brows are fading a little bit and I have to recolor my brows. I'm going to fill them in a little bit now. If your brow pencil matches your hair color already, then you don't really need to use brow mascara, but my brows are really dark. I've been really into iMimi lately. These came out like earlier this year, I think, or last year. I think they're super great. These are iMimi multi-cubes, and basically it's an eyeshadow palette. You've got your kind of base colors, your point color, and you've got like a shimmer here, and a blush right in the bottom compartment. And I swear, I do my eye makeup and my blush within like 2 minutes. It's really quick and easy. I liked it so much that I actually bought the other colors. That one's the coral one. There's also a brown one, a pink one, and the red one. I really like the red one. It's probably my favorite one, along with the coral. And you can really just use your fingers, but I'm gonna be using brushes. I have this small mini travel brush set from Pony Effect. It comes with that magnetic like box. Like I was saying earlier, I'm not powdering my face yet because powders blend better on top of powder, but sometimes the pigment isn't there. Like I said earlier, I'm using the foundation as like a base for my shadows and my blush. I'm gonna take the first shade, the base shade. Later, probably be easy, faster to just use my finger really. Put it all over that. Then I take this deeper shade. Put it more towards the lash line. Really, I'm just doing this all dechung, like nothing too complicated. And because the powders are so soft, they all blend in together already. And then I take the point color, and I like to put that color here on the outer corner. Don't worry if it's messy. And then I take the shimmery color, my favorite part, take it on my finger, and And I just swipe it down on the center of my lid. Like that. And also on the center of the bottom. Another thing that I like about not having powder in my face prior is that I can take my cushion that I used. If it got messy under here, I just have to clean it up with the puff. There's actually a little pad right here on the cushion puff that is like textured. It's supposed to be like a finger, but I feel like it just makes weird marks in the foundation, so I don't really use that side. If you need to, go ahead and use eyeliner and mascara if you want. I'm just gonna put mascara on. This one from Peripera. I like this one because the wand isn't too huge. Did you take a shower? 개웃겨. And then for blush, here we go again. The blush, obviously, that's in there. I'm not gonna really contour today. I'm gonna use highlight to emphasize parts of my face. And one thing you can do with blush to kind of make your face look a little bit smaller, if you notice like this triangle space on your face from the brows to the mouth, if you kind of concentrate blush more within that triangle, it kind of makes the face look a little bit smaller, but it does give you that sort of cute look. So if you're not into that cute look, don't do it. I do put a little bit on the bridge of my nose. And then to continue that sort of like emphasizing of the center of the face, I'm gonna use highlighter. I like to just use this eyeshadow from Missha as a highlighter because it's more convenient to carry around, and it's an eyeshadow, so it gives you a little bit more intensity than most highlighters, so it's a little bit more versatile. I just take my finger on the tip of my nose, here, above my mouth, on my chin. I know there's some people that cannot live without contouring, so if you have something like the art class by Rodon from Too Cool for School, I know a lot of people carry that with them. You can use that, contour your nose, the sides of your face. You can use a brush like this and just tap it to kind of shade the outside of the face. Now for my lips, which is pretty much the last part, you can do whatever you want here. Lately, I've been really into another iMimi product, TikTok Tint Lip, their new Cashmere. And this is pretty much one of those like velvety types of lip products that makes your lips look softer. And because it's not so glossy, it just kind of, it looks more natural. You know, it doesn't look like lip makeup, if that makes sense. I like it so much that I bought all of the colors. My lips are really red, so I'm gonna put a little bit of lip concealer. The way I've been doing my lip makeup recently is kind of concentrating pretty much all of it on the bottom lip, even going past my natural lip line, of course. And spreading it with my top lip, but not touching the top of my top lip, if that makes sense. A little bit here on the top lip, but pretty much all of the bottom lip. I think the effect that gives is really pretty. This is in the shade My Kind of Coral. So it pretty much matches the eyeshadow, because that was coral. So the makeup is done. Now I'm just gonna use powder pack just to make any shiny areas less shiny. Like the center of the forehead, the sides of the nose. And that will just take away any shine that I don't want. Yeah. Now it's your turn. Wow. Let's go! I made him a little pouch too. Yeah. This isn't necessarily for boys or for girls, but in Korea, I feel like for boys, the main problem is to find a foundation that matches your skin tone, because boys tend to be a little bit tanner than girls here. But this one from Etude House seems to match him really well. The new double lasting serum foundation in amber. I have this pony effect puff. I feel like I've said that like 4 times already. And I like it because it's kind of like a sponge like this, but in a puff form, so it's more convenient. And I'm gonna, what is this? 뿌려?
Yeah.
Spray it with mist.
전나 뿌려.
And like I did with my makeup, on the white areas. For people with a little bit more problem skin,
Like mine?
like yours, which is okay, because you're a student and you're going through things.
Yeah. I'm still young. I'm just 16.
16이라니. I'm gonna rely more on the concealer for coverage. So for the foundation, I'm not gonna put too much of it because you really don't need to. I feel like some people layer the foundation on a lot to try and cover everything.
Me.
I'm there. So we're gonna keep this thin. Someone asked me what I think about this foundation. I really like it. You don't get a lot of glowy foundations that last very long on the skin, but this one actually does last a pretty decent time without breaking down on my skin, and I have oily skin, so if you have 앞머리 like Min, you really, I don't think you have to put too much effort into covering your forehead, especially if it's going to be covered all day, but whatever's left on the puff, you can just kind of put it on your forehead. Now, I was telling Min yesterday that if you use concealer, kind of like what I was saying earlier with my makeup, a lot of the focus is in this part of the face, and that's what most people are looking at. If this part is clear, then nobody really notices any of the spots on the outside of the face. So what I like to do is taking concealer. It can be a little bit lighter, or it can be the exact same color as your foundation. This is the pony effect. This is really popular in Korea lately. It can cover pores, and it's not too dry. It's more 촉촉해. But what I do with this is I kind of put it here in that triangle zone. And it looks like I'm putting a lot, but it's really thin. Here and here. And then using the same puff. I kind of also take it under the dark circle. I start here and not right at the lash line because that will just be too heavy under the eyes. I start in the center and I blend up to the dark circle.
아, 형 맨날 이거 쓰구나. You've been using this concealer every day.
거의.
그래서 I see no pores on your face, especially the center of the face.
That way I also don't have to use a primer.
Okay, primer makes makeup heavier.
Sometimes I feel like it can make your skin dry. For me at least. 됐어? 좋아?
Base done.
That was just another method of doing base, because for me, the line of cushion that I used on myself, there wasn't a deep enough color for you. Otherwise, that's what I would have used on you. But now I'm going to actually move on to the cheeks. I'm going to use the Take a Layer thing, the multi-pot from 3CE. But I know you like blush.
Oh, a lot.
So,
Can't get enough of it.
kind of here.
And on my nose? Is it gonna be funny?
I can put it on your nose, but
Little bit.
it'd be too much first, so I have to blend out
yeah.
this. Try to avoid right under the eyes.
What?
One finger here, and one finger here. Whatever's left. Connect across. If you put it on your nose. Min's eye shape can be a little bit difficult to apply eyeshadow on, so I feel like the easiest method, and the quickest to be honest, is to use pencils. I have 3 colors here. The first thing I'm going to use is this eyeshadow pencil from lilybyred, and this is just in kind of like rosy brown color. I put it at the base of the lash line, and using my finger, just blend it. It's a lot easier than using powder shadow sometimes, especially for people that aren't really experienced with eyeshadow.
That 아저씨 sound.
They do that with a lot of things though. I remember the first time I heard someone say it, they were watching a music show and the person was singing super well. So they're like, oh no. You can use the same color on the bottom, but for the bottom I have 2 other pencils. This one is actually kind of a similar color. Look up. I like to put that here. It's a little bit more pinky red. And I like putting it here because it makes your eyes look longer. Especially because for your eye shape, your eyes are a little bit upturned. It's actually a very similar color to the color of his waterline, basically. And also the thing about pencils is they often last a little bit longer than powder shadows. Look up. And then for the 애교살, I use shimmery pencil. There's some people that like to draw their 애교살 with a contour powder or something. When you add the highlight, it almost looks like you already have 애교살. At this stage, actually, I think I'm gonna powder your skin now. I did want this look to be a little bit more 촉촉해 looking, so if you use a puff, it's good if you have oily skin because it really mattifies your skin. But if you have dry skin or you want to keep the look a little bit more glowy or glossy or 촉촉해, but you need to set it, you can use a powder brush. His brows, I keep forgetting his brows because they're covered by his bangs. So really, if you have 앞머리, you don't need to do this. I'll do it for you, for the camera. I have this brush set that I found.
Kitty.
오바 액션 토끼.
아 진짜?
Oh,
I don't even know.
because he's like really extra. There are 5 eyeshadow brushes in here. He has the kind of eyebrows, the very like manly eyebrows that stick off the skin. And sometimes if you use pencil, it can be a little bit difficult. With brows like this, I like to just use powder because it's more natural looking. And honestly, you can just 대충 this and just fill in all the empty spots. Doesn't really matter because it's covered anyway. This one. When it comes to lip colors for boys, I feel like the ones that work the best are ones that kind of aren't too bright. You can go with like red colors, but ones that have kind of brown undertones in them, kind of like chilly colors, like this, I think work the best. You just put a little bit on the bottom. A little bit. Here I am. And then just spread it. 먹었어? You can do either that, or you can do something like a gloss that has like a bronzy undertone. I think that's really cute too. Or just use a lip balm. Ooh. Who is she?
Hair looks messy.
You said you wanted to do like freckles, right?
Can we try?
아! 망했어. 메이크업 완성. 우. If you want to see us doing studenty things like eating at KFC while we wear this shit, then go check out his channel. Link down below. Bye.
Bye.
Just kidding.